The world is full of magnificent places where we can call home. That said, for each place that's splendid and beautiful, there's also another place that's strange and eerie waiting to be discovered. Wondering what we're talking about? This video will give you all the juice. From the Darby Island, a Caribbean Nazi island, to the hanging temple of Hengshan, check out these 12 strange places where people live. Before we get started, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe and click the notification bell for more such amazing content. Here we go. Number 12. Al-Haja Ancient Village on a Cliff, Yemen. For all the lovers of minimalism, this village is for you. These stone houses are decorated in coats of white paint and the glassless windows overlook the countryside of Yemen. These towering houses can get quite dangerous when you're at the cliff's edge, but what would you be doing there? The place was founded in 12th century by Sulai Hindis, and it's more than a pretty place. The fortress was critical in the occupation of Yemen by Ottomans, given its ideal position and location. This was not only useful for war, it was also a way of getting markets, since the village was also bare manicure and one could explore the Haraz Mountains and its various markets and hotel. This is a great place for adventure and wanderlust. The mountains seem like the ideal place to stroll and relax the mind. With tranquil natural beauty, it's hard to imagine the place with expansive open land to be in the same planet as New York Times Square. Number 11. Rosanna Monastery. This monastery is located near a freestanding rock and for sure looks like a scene from a Hollywood movie with a lot of CGI. It's grand and cool and not meant for people who sleepwalk at night. That said, at first light, the stunning views in the Greek countryside are lovely. The cliffs falling on each other. The monastery's been around since the 12th century. The monastery's closeness to the sea level means it has very low elevation and is more accessible to people who come to visit. The monastery, however, came under some damage during World War II. Since then, the place has been converted into a convent where about 15 nuns live and worship. Number 10. Ceternil de la Bodega. A good number of people fear diving under a cliff. It can be a scary experience. The thing is, the unimaginable can happen. This is the exact feeling that people living near the Ceternil de la Bodega, which is located in Spain, have. The residents have to get used to these cliffs, which have truly become part of their life. The presence of the cliffs is at times overwhelming, and the fact that they're ever present makes it more precarious. Some of the houses have cliffs as ceilings and roofs to their homes. That said, the cliffs do provide shade during the hot summertime. In reality, the cliffs are more safe than you'd imagine. They are strong cliffs and would not cave in and fall through as you're having dinner. Quite a controversial place to live, if you ask me. Number 9. Matamata, Tunisia. Living underground is not just meant for moles and squirrels. Some indigenous people in Matamata, Tunisia seem to be doing the same. They live in burrow-like cave homes. There's, however, a method to this madness. The residents prefer this humble abode, the conditions notwithstanding, blazing heat and sweating profusely. Little homes are quite famous after they became part of the movie franchise of Star Wars. They were the home of the actor playing Luke Skywalker and made for such a wonderful set. This has made throngs of fans show up and see the place. The residents don't mind the invasion of privacy since it comes with some dollar bills. Luke's place is also run as a hotel. Number 8. The world's smallest country, Sealand. We've all heard of Germany and England. There are some more popular places in Europe. I bet you've not heard of Sealand. If you have, you sure don't know much about it. When the war ended, the place was abandoned. It started with a full-time staff in 1956 as pirate ships moved to the offshore near Suffolk. This little country does not adhere to British law, seeing it's 3 miles off the British coast. Roy Bates, who owns Radio Essex, moved to Sealand in 1967. Sealand has its own currency, passport, stamps, as well as coat of arms. During the Falkland War, the Argentinians tried to buy the country. Their offer was refused. They, however, did allow Red Bull to create a skateboard park. One wrong move on the board and you land in the sea. Number 7. John oGroats, Scotland. This very unlikely location in Scotland is located in a small northern village somewhere in the mainland. It's the beginning of a very small walk called End to End. From oGroats in Scotland, the walk takes you to Land's End in Cornwall, only 876 miles away. If walks are your cup of tea, you'll enjoy all this tremendously. You'll even get a chance to see some local wildlife, from dolphins to killer whales to seals. From the location, you also get to see some northern lights. If you're lucky, you'll find clear skies and gaze at the wonders of the natural phenomenon. The only catch-22 is that there's a lot of isolation and freezing temperatures. Number 6. Villa Gerasole, Verona. When you see a plant rotate to see the sun, you'll be perplexed. It's one of those things that are weird. Now consider seeing a building move. Architect Angelo Invenici came up with an interesting concept whereby a house opens up like a sunflower and turns open as if following the sun. This very wealthy Italian architect made it that his house followed the sun's beams to harness its solar power as well as reap other health benefits. As the house rotates, it means that the house gets sunshine as the residents get some vitamin D. I'm not sure if I find this interesting or scary. What if the mortar for the house breaks and the rotating turns into a roller coaster experience? That said, hats off to the brilliant architect. Number 5. Dioccan Shrine of Our Lady of Verona Crown. Some places are so breathtaking it seems that they've been pulled out of a picture book. This is one such place. It stands somewhere in Italy and it sucks up all the beauty of the surroundings. This sanctuary sort of hangs on the side of the mountain and then overlooks a green valley. Other than the unique positioning, the architecture is on point. The place would be ideal for an exquisite date, candlelit dinner overlooking the Italian terrain. This shrine is open all year long to visitors and people can visit as they wish. You ready for a holiday? I know I am. Number 4. Mount Fanging. If you've ever been mountain climbing, it's fascinating how you get to be one with the clouds. But how about this becoming an everyday occurrence where you live in a place that's literally engulfed by clouds? The people of Fanging enjoy this rare bliss. They are, however, keen to note that this place is not for the faint-hearted. UNESCO has earmarked the place as one of the World Heritage Sites. The thing with living up there is that conditions are quite hardcore. Even with that being the case, it's quite a fulfilling stay. The place is popular with Buddhists who consider it a holy place. It also has a lot of historical significance. The name itself means Buddhist tranquility in Chinese. Number 3. Bosu France. How does having a canyon just outside your doorstep sound? Pretty dope, right? That's the reality in the south of France. You take a single step out of the compound and voila, there's a giant 300-foot canyon. This place cannot be hidden. There's also a large separation between the Gulf and dear neighbours and the locals. This is a great hideout for when there's a war. Apparently back in the day, this was critical in protection from enemy attacks. The biggest balancing act is living there and trying hard not to fall over. Number 2. Prejumar Castle. This castle sits in a very strange place. It's inside the mouth of a cave somewhere in Slovenia. The castle has been there since 1274 and is older than our 4 generations combined. It's located in the village of Prejumar, which is quite isolated. This is for good reason, to ensure that the invaders don't gain access. The castle has for sure stood the test of time. It hangs on the edge of a cliff and has done so for a long time. Long in this case is 800 years. Whoever made this masterpiece did a mighty good job. The design behind it is connected to secret tunnels that were used for expeditions incognito. Number 1. Castle on Big Darby Island. Deep in the Caribbean Sea lies an abandoned castle that stands on top of an island that's linked to a Nazi sympathizer. When Sir Guy Baxter was granted knighthood and gifted with an entire island by King George back in 1939, he built a fancy castle at the highest point in the island, and that was at 8,000 meters. The idea was to fully enjoy the panoramic views. Baxter turned each nook and cranny in the island into a money-making plantation. He had livestock, cotton, palm oil et al. Being a Nazi sympathizer, he was reported to house Nazi German friends in the castle. It's suspected that Baxter was guiding German subs from the Atlantic Ocean to some caves in the island. With a total of 554 acres and 14 beaches and an airstrip, the conspiracy was not so hard to plan. News alert, currently the castle is up for sale for $39 million. Let us know which place tickles your fancy. Which place would you like to experience? Take your pick. I won't judge you for that choice.